come as a shock to no one that, well, at least in my opinion, the two most entrenched rough sleepers in Nottingham City at the moment, I strongly suspect, have aspects of PDA. And I think that it can kind of, this is not a technical classification at all, but I think it can present itself in either loud ways or quiet ways. So Bradley's very much the loud way. So at times that I've sort of been involved in his sort of support, there have been times he's become deeply unwell from his health that there was genuine concerns that he was going to die if he didn't access healthcare treatment, and he still refused to go to hospital to get that treatment. And thankfully he's alive, but that there was a genuine risk there that he wasn't going to make it out of that. And we even at the time we were looking at things like capacity assessments, and he was deemed to have full capacity. He was not deeply unwell. He was just pushed to, and when I've reflected back on that, I think he was just pushing back around that because of how much of an overwhelming demand. Basically, anytime anyone saw him, he was being told the same thing: you need to go and do this, you need to go and do this, and he just kind of locked down and wouldn't. This gentleman's also been offered multiple different sort of housing first or next steps accommodation style properties. But each time that's happened, he's either never gone or he's just handed back the keys and refused to stay. He's refusing, at least last time I heard, he's refusing to go to any sort of hostels. He wants to stay out on the streets, is what he's told people before. And he can be quite sort of agitated and pushing people away, tells people to fuck off, to leave him alone, get away from him. And even though there's no official diagnosis, there's one kind of in his orbit, professional suspects that it's very likely that he has ADHD. And this other gentleman is the second most cited rough sleeper in Nottingham. Kind of, I think, experiences pathological demand avoidance in the quiet way. So he's extremely polite, so he never tells anyone to fuck off, as far as I'm aware. But instead of sort of that kind of more aggressive to assertive presentation, when frontline staff approach him, he just says he's fine. And he's aware of what he can do to access housing. He just will say he's fine as he is. He's not claiming any benefits, and he doesn't want to claim any benefits. He doesn't have a bank account, and he doesn't want to have a bank account. And he's not interested in accessing housing. So even though he's a lot more sort of polite and towards people, it's often more challenging if someone's saying that they're absolutely fine, because you don't quite know how to approach that, really. And even though he doesn't have a diagnosis, at least some of the staff I've spoken to, it's strongly suspect he's likely autistic. Not just because of the pathological demand avoidance, it's also like very narrow ranges of interests and things like that. But interestingly as well, I think a lot of people don't necessarily recognize that he may be autistic, or that his presentation could be that.